Shalom, everyone. I making this video because I was just reminded of a dream that I had a few months ago. I didn't make a video about it then because I hadn't received the revelation about it. I'm going to tell you the dream, but and then it's going to appear like I'm just going to tell you the dream. There's a reason why I sat on it. I waited for the revelation because I wanted to make sure of what I thought the dream was showing me before I spoke on it. And just now, Ruach HaKodesh confirmed that that was the meaning of the dream. So in this dream, it was a man that was dressed up kind of like a Catholic Pope, but he had a white robe on, but I don't know what it's called. The piece that hangs down from them, it was purple and gold. And he was handing out this book. Now, the book wasn't the Bible per se, but it was supposed to be like a biblical type of text. And he was just handing it out left and right. People were coming to him, just getting this book, getting this book, getting this book. And I mean, it was literally multitudes of people coming to get this book from him. And then I remember all of a sudden I was in the grocery store and I saw it was a shopping cart full of this book. So I walked up to it and all of a sudden one of them flipped open and it was nothing. Then a few more of them flipped open. It was nothing. There were no words written in this book. It was blank, but people were flocking to this man to get this book with no words in it. So I'm actually watching, it's a show on PureFlix. So PureFlix is kind of like, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the Christian version of Netflix. And I use Christian very lightly because there are some things on here that's pretty questionable, but for the most part, everything is Christian. And there is a television show on here called The Encounter. So on every episode, it's showing how Yeshua intervenes in all of our lives and he gives us chances to choose the right thing. Sometimes on the episode, the person doesn't choose the right thing. Sometimes they do, but this particular one episode is called Homeward Bound, and it's a funeral. This couple just buried their 6-year-old daughter who had leukemia, and in this particular episode, while they're there, Hasatan shows up dressed as a preacher, and he starts sowing strife and dissension on this couple. I want to say the husband and the wife at one point believed in Yeshua, but then turned away. And then the mother-in-law of the wife, well, not the mother-in-law of the wife, the mother of the wife, shows up acting a hot, funky fool and is drunk. And she, too, was a former believer. So now it's like this tug-of-war going on between Yeshua and Hasatan. Obviously, Yeshua wins the tug-of-war. But one of the things that sparked me remembering the dream was once they found out who he was, the husband was like, "You came in here carrying a Bible nonetheless." And then Yeshua was like, "That's not a Bible. It only looks like a Bible." And then the book flew open and the pages were blank. And that's when I heard the Holy Spirit remind me of the dream. And he was like, the man in your dream was a false prophet. He was the false prophet that is going to back the AntiChrist. And I specifically heard Ruach HaKodesh say, the false prophet is rising. Now you know that with Yahuwah, timing is not the same because he exists outside as us, because he exists outside of time. So he never really gives us a time frame unless it's crucial for us to know the time frame. So he didn't tell me a time frame. I don't have a time frame. I just know that he said the false prophet is rising. And he reminded me of that dream that I had a few months back. And like I said, it all clicked when that Bible on the television show flew open and it was completely blank. And I am going to tell you that this video, I'm not even allowed to release it until February 9th. And if Abba wills it, I'll tell you why I'm not able to release it until then. But I was told to make it now. Today is January 7th, 2021. So, a little over a month. But just keep praying, guys. Things are getting pretty heavy out here. And the heavier it gets in the spiritual realm, the more people are being deceived in the natural realm. Just keep praying. Pray for your enemies. And I say that, I use the term enemy very loosely because they're actually vessels of the enemy who hides behind their faces. The kingdom of darkness hides behind people's faces because a kingdom divided cannot stand. So as long as we look at other people as our enemies, a lot of times we'll treat them that way. Even though the word of Yah says to love your enemies and pray for them and yada yada yada, but how many people actually do that? We got to get to the point where we stop seeing other people as our enemy and start seeing them as vessels of the enemy. Because once we see them as just the vessel of the enemy, then we'll be able to actually see the enemy. Yeah, we got to pray for people. You got to yield yourself completely to Ruach HaKodesh and let him use you. No matter in what capacity he wants to use you, you got to let him do it. You got to let him do it. Time is running up and his harvest is nigh. It's the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. That and many are called, but few are chosen are the two scriptures that keep popping into my head. Many are called, meaning we're all called, but only the ones that are willing to do what it takes on their end to be used fully by Abba Yahuwah are the ones that he chooses to use. And those are the ones that are willing to completely let go of every earthly attachment. Every single one. Let it go. All right. Have a good rest of the night. But yeah, pray. Also, in the description of majority of my videos, I have a link that I provide to my blog called Listen Up, and the link goes directly to the newsletter page where I have started writing a newsletter called This Means War, and I started back in September 2020. So this month was the 5th issue, and I'm currently working on the 6th issue that will be released February 1st. Every issue that I have been ordained to write, I guess, or released or unctioned, I don't know the right word to say for it, but used to write is released on the 1st of every month. And you can follow that link. The link will take you to all of the issues. So once you have the link, you got it, you're done. You can find that link on pretty much all of my videos except for my very early videos, pre-locks. Well, not pre-locks, but pre-lock back when I had the baby locks. yeah, I guess that's it. Please, please check out the newsletter. Everything is free. It's freely I've given, so freely, freely I receive, so freely I am giving. The revelations and the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that has been poured into me back into whomever will receive it. And if you feel like it has spoken to you, if you feel like Ruach HaKodesh is speaking to you through it, then by all means share it with others. Okay, I gotta go. Shalom.